A famous actor who is on the rise, lives alone, and is accompanied by a manager. But one day he woke up, shocked suddenly he already had a wife and 2 children. How is the story? And this is the storyline of the film Switch from Korea, which was released in 2023. At the beginning of the film, we are shown a famous actor who is rolling in money. Let's call him Park Kang. He is rich and has everything, both in terms of money or a career. Even his mother can feel the wealth of Park Kang. He lives in a luxury apartment and is accompanied by a manager. Let's call him Jo Yoon. Jo Yoon used to be an actor too, because he didn't get a good job. He finally quit acting and chose to become Park Kang's manager. One night, Park Kang attended an award ceremony, at which event Park Kang was chosen as one of the best actors in terms of film. Park Kang gave a welcoming speech that 10 years ago he was an ordinary actor, poor and unknown. But now he is known by many people, and he will not forget his origins.
불과 10년 전에 저는 너무나도 가난했던 무명 배우였습니다.
Elsewhere, there's a woman, let's call her Soon-yeon, who is watching Park Kang receive an award on TV. Soon-yeon is Park Kang's ex-girlfriend when he was poor. She has just returned from New York to open her art exhibition in Insadong. After the event, Park Kang invited Jo Yeon to drink at the usual place where they used to drink when they were poor. Jo Yeon immediately refused because that night was Christmas Eve. He wanted to spend the night with his family, wife, and children. Because Park Kang kept pressing him, Jo Yeon finally agreed. There, Park Kang gives Jo Yeon some money so she can buy toys for her child. They chat while reminiscing about the past where Park Kang and Jo Yeon had auditioned together until reaching the final round. But Jo Yeon did not continue her career. Since then, Park Kang has been able to achieve success until now. At that time, Jo Yeon thought that if Park Kang did not pass the audition, maybe he would marry Soon-yeon and live happily. Hearing that, Park Kang remembered where he broke up with Soon-yeon in this bar and pursued his career as an actor, while Soon-yeon went to New York to deepen her knowledge in the arts.
잘 살고 있었을 텐데.
After drinking, Park Kang asked Jo Yeon to drink again because he didn't feel drunk. But Jo Yeon refused because it was Christmas Eve and he wanted to spend time with his family. Park took a taxi himself and told Jo Yeon to go home to his family. In the taxi driver felt very lucky to be able to take the famous actor on Christmas Eve. The driver said, "You already have everything. There's no way you can't be happy." Long story short, suddenly the driver said, "If you get a second chance, what will you do?" The driver seemed to know everything about Park Kang's situation.
선택을 바꿀 수 있는 기회가 생긴다면 어떡하시겠어요?
And this is the beginning. The next day, Park Kang woke up with the sound of an alarm in a simple wooden house. He was confused and surprised because there were 2 small children approaching him. Let's call them Rohee and Roha. They called him father.
아파트 여기서 샀어? 순대수자면
Even more surprised when Park Kang saw Soon-yeon in front of him. It turned out that when he woke up, Soon-yeon had become his wife and the children had become his children. He was still confused and went out of the house to make sure whether this was a dream or reality. He called his manager, Jo Yeon, but the number was not active. He took the remote and started the car, but instead this white car turned on. To make sure again, Park Kang went to his apartment. He entered without paying attention to the maid there. Park Kang opened the door to his apartment, but it couldn't be opened. Suddenly a man came out, asking why he was trying to open his door. Park said that this was his room. Park Kang barged in, and chaos ensued, because the man thought Park Kang was cheating on his wife. Long story short, Park Kang is at the police station. He convinces the police that it is his apartment and that he is a famous actor, to the point that his wife has to go to the police station to take care of the mess Park Kang made. Long story short, when he got home, Park Kang was still confused and even asked his wife if this was our yard. Park Kang was approached by his son Rohee. Rohee realized that there was something strange about his father's behavior. Park Kang gave Rohee an excuse that he had lost his memory and told Rohee not to tell anyone.
바보가 된 거야?
At home, Soon-yeon is going to meet her friend after her art class and asks Park Kang to watch the kids and play with them. Park Kang initially refuses because he is busy today. Park Kang suggests hiring a babysitter. So-yeon thinks Kang is still in a bad mood because of his hangover. They haven't even paid the rent yet. Why hire a babysitter? Long story short, Park Kang invited the twins to play while looking for the taxi he took that night because he remembered that he could be here because of that taxi. Park Kang showed the characteristics of the taxi he took, but the characteristics of the taxi that Kang mentioned were not there. Finally, they went home. Upon arriving home, Kang is curious and asks Rohee about his job. Rohee replies that Park Kang is an actor, but not a famous one, as he is an extra, as pointed out by Roha. That night, Park Kang was still thinking about his life now. So Nun asked Park Kong to tell the reason why he entered someone else's apartment. Kong said that he felt like he entered a different life after getting on a taxi on Christmas Eve, which was a life that Kong did not choose because in his previous life he was an actor who had everything and lived alone.
그래서 이렇게 예쁜 선물 받은 걸.
When he was about to sleep, Kong felt awkward because in this life he slept with So Nyun in the same bed for the first time, which he had never done before. Park Kong lives a life he has never experienced before and adapts to the circumstances he has, sleeping together, eating together, and dealing with the naughtiness of his twins, which frustrates him. On the other hand, Park Kong must be a father figure that his children can rely on. That day, Park Kong got a role in a drama shooting. They praised him because Park Kang's acting today was very good. Even when he got home, his wife and children praised Park Kong because his acting in the drama role was very good. However, Park Kong was not happy because the role he got was very bad, from a bad drama. A while later, Park Kong receives a call from his friend, Wo Hee, to help promote his theater performance. While promoting his theater performance, Park Kong talks to Wo Hee that his life now is not as a famous actor and instead gets a very bad role. Wo Hee ignores his words. Park Kong asks where Jo Yeon is and why his number is not active. Wo Hee tells Park Kong that Jo Yeon has just released a very hit movie. When watching Jo Yeon's drama, Park Kong just realized that his life was swapped with Jo Yeon's. Park Kong immediately rushed to Jo Yeon's place, ignoring the officers there. When they met, Park Kong was surprised that Jo Yeon's appearance was different from before. Even though Jo Yeon in his current life had become a famous actor, he did not forget Park Kong and immediately invited Park Kong to eat sashimi.
왜 이렇게 커졌어? 너 키 안 부시냐?
While eating, Park Kong chatted with Jo Yeon that his appearance was now very handsome. Now he had changed the shape of his nose, lips and eyes, which looked sharp. Jo Yeon said this was thanks to Park Kong and the audition they registered for together until they entered the final, but Park Kong did not continue the audition because he was chasing So Nun to the airport at that time. That night, Park Kong remembered Jo Yeon's words earlier that he stopped his audition to chase So Nun to the airport. As they walked, Park complimented So Nun that she was very beautiful, even more beautiful than he remembered before. Park Kong said that if So Nun went to New York, maybe she would become a professor and would hold an exhibition. While relaxing in the yard, Ro-hee asks her father if his memory has returned, because according to her, the relationship between her father and mother has started to improve. Although Park Kong was not famous in his previous life, he is very popular among the mothers, because they think that Park Kang's acting in the drama recently is very good. The mothers even invite Park Kong to drink together while doing karaoke. The next day, Park Kang's mother came and scolded them, because it was already noon. They did not prepare food for her children. Park Kang's mother asked, after filming the previous drama, why Park Kong was not seen on TV anymore. It turned out that Park Kong had left the acting world. While shopping, Park Kong told his mother not to worry that he had resigned from the previous drama, because he would be filming another movie, that today he would be auditioning. Park Kang's mother gave Park pocket money, so he could treat his wife, children, and buy flowers for his late father's grave. In the audition, Park Kong filmed by going into his role, but according to the director, he was too dramatic. Even though he was Jo Yeon's best friend and had starred in a drama, it turned out that Park Kong did not pass the audition. Park Kong immediately met Jo Yeon at the boxing venue. Park Kong told Jo Yeon that he did not pass the audition. The director only wanted to work with Jo Yeon. Long story short, at that time Jo Yeon asked for Park's help to become his agent because, after Jo Yeon's contract was almost up, he wanted to open his own business. Park Kong was angry at that time and rejected Jo Yeon's proposal because according to him, Jo Yeon in another life was Park Kang's agent. Before Park Kong takes the twins to play, he drops by So Nun's art class, but So Nun is not there. At the playground, while talking to Ro-hee, something unexpected happens to Ro-ha. Ro-ha falls from the playground and Park Kang immediately takes Ro-ha to the hospital. When she found out that Ro-ha had fallen while playing, So Nun immediately rushed to the hospital. Luckily, Ro-ha did not suffer any broken bones, just a simple injury. It was so bad that So Nun did not have time to change out of her work clothes, so Park Kong was angry because he found out that his wife had done another job in the afternoon without his knowledge. Park Kong was angry because according to Park Kong, his wife made him feel sorry for her. Park Kong went to the ATM to withdraw money. His card was empty. It turned out that in addition to Park Kong being in another life, the property he had previously owned was also gone. Finally, Park Kong went to Jo Yeon's place to confirm himself as Jo Yeon's agent. Park Kong lives his life like a regular agent, just like Jo Yeon, who became Park Kang's agent in a different life. Starting from carrying Jo Yeon's things when shopping, helping and completing all the actor's needs, to guarding and protecting Jo Yeon from reporters who interviewed him. Because, at that time Jo Yeon had experienced problems like Park Kong before, news spread on the internet that Jo Yeon was dating a woman younger than him. All of that was successfully overcome by Park Kong, because Park Kong had experience in his previous life. Even Park Kong gave advice to Jo Yeon to ask for additional withdrawal of Jo Yeon's cooperation fee, so that Jo Yeon would make more money. Park Kong helped Jo Yeon memorize the script until he got carried away by his emotions because he hadn't read the script for a long time. Until the actor for the next drama left because he was waiting for Jo Yeon to memorize the script. Finally, the director invited Park Kong to shoot because he had filmed the drama. Park Kong filmed well and was very in-depth, so the director praised him. Even at home, the family admires and praises Park Kang's acting. Park Kong has started to get used to the life he is living now. He no longer remembers his past life because now, according to him, family is the most important. Now he has a little money, so he can buy new clothes and take his family to eat at a luxurious place. Park Kang's changes attract So Nun's attention, especially when Park Kong invites them to Jo Yeon's apartment, which will be lent to Park Kong for them to live in. They had a fight because of different opinions. So Nun did not want to live in this apartment because Roha was afraid of heights and had many memories in their previous house.
애들은 어떡하고?
애들이야 여기 형님 더 좋지. 시원한 아니야? 이렇게까지 되는 게 얼마나 힘들는지 알아?
Long story short, the days that Park Kong went through from being Jo Yeon's agent until now he was promoted in a drama. A year passed, until one night Park Kong accompanied Jo Yeon to an award event, and Jo Yeon won the Best Actor award at that time. That night they stopped at the same bar, the bar where they stopped when they were still poor. Also the bar where Park Kong invited Jo Yeon in his previous life. In the bar, they talked about their lives, that Jo Yeon wanted to have a family like Park Kong, even willing to exchange his life with Park Kong. Jo Yeon was very drunk. Well, he was there to take Jo Yeon home. Before going home, Jo Yeon gave a little money to Park Kong, because that night coincided with Christmas Eve. Park Kong went home by taxi. In the taxi, Park Kong called his wife to tell her to go home, because that night was Christmas Eve and the children were waiting for him at home. After hanging up, suddenly the driver said to Park Kong, "How is your life now different from before? Are you happy with your family?" It turned out that the driver was the father who took Park Kong on Christmas Eve in his previous different life. The father told Park Kong that the time in his current life was short. Tomorrow he would return to his real life. Park Kong is sad because all he needs now is his family. He doesn't need luxury or wealth like before, because that night was Park Kang's last night with his son. Park Kong spent that night with his family while shedding tears. The next day Park Kong woke up. Park Kong had returned to the time when he was an actor and was full of luxury while calling his wife and child. Park Kong reflected on his previous life. Jo Yeon came in and Park Kong asked if it was true that they drank at the Deha Crow bar and about So Nun returning from America that happened a year ago. It turned out that they drank the drink last night. Hearing this, Park Kong immediately rushed to the place where So Nun's art exhibition was being violated. So Nun came. Park Kong asked how to paint her painting, even though the painting existed in real life and Park Kong had seen it. Park Kong immediately takes So Nun to the real house that So Nun painted. Park Kong says that last night he celebrated Christmas with So Nun and spent a precious year in that house with So Nun. Long story short, 2 years passed, Park Kong married So Nun, and they had twins, Rohee and Roha. The movie is over. From this story, we can learn a lesson that value your time well towards your siblings and family. Because the success we get will be valuable if we value the time we have. If you were given a second chance in your life, what would you do? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.